Good afternoon, everybody. It's a huge pleasure I have to welcome you to our webinar today. Topic is around extending BMC smart reporting to Yellowfin and also talking about customer options with Yellowfin. I'm really excited about the program today. We've got some great content. We've got some great speakers, which I'll be excited to introduce shortly, including the General Manager of Yellowfin, who's Atanas Popov. Also got Carl Edwards, one of our Yellowfin partners from Rhino Analytics. And we have Uwe Reimers from Materna in Germany. So really great to have them with us today and excited and looking forward to the session. So it's just my job today just to introduce for a moment. I'm the partner manager at Yellowfin in EMEA. And I just want to share a little bit the agenda, the flow for today. We're going to kick off in a moment with Atanas on the background on smart reporting in Yellowfin. We're going to talk about the options, a little bit of the status around end of life as well. Carl and Uwe will cover the technical section, talking through those technical pathways. I'll cover a little bit at the end about asset and partner services and other topics, and then leave you with some next steps. And we will ensure we leave time at the end of each section for questions from you. And I'll be keeping an eye on the chat box. You'll see Q&A box on your right at the bottom of your screen. Please feel free as we go through to post your questions in there. I will keep an eye out for them, and I'll sort of moderate a little bit and let the speakers know that the questions have come through. We will also be recording this, so we will be sending out an email in the next day or so just to send you a link back to the recording if you want to revisit some of the sections and walk through them again. So without further ado, I know we've got lots to pack in today, so it's my pleasure to pass over to Atanas for the next section.
Thank you, Jean. Much appreciated. Hi, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon. I know we have a pretty packed house with people from both North America and Europe. We have both BMC partners and BMC customers, so thank you so much for joining. I'll spend a little bit of time going through some of the background. Some of you may know it, but I think it's good to have it and spend time on kind of the Yellowfin solution and what options it provides for BMC customers. So Yellowfin and BMC partnered about 7 years ago, maybe a little bit over, to create a new BI and reporting solution for smart reporting. I think at the time, BMC was looking to find what is the best-in-class embedded solution available that can be white labeled, and they chose Yellowfin. The product has been updated since then. It was first introduced as part of the ITSM version 9, and throughout the last 7 years, there have been a number of upgrades. The latest version that Yellowfin has been incorporated into Remedy's version 8 of Yellowfin. The most important thing, I guess, on this slide is that we have a really good partnership and relationship with BMC. We've worked together for a long time. While they made a decision to build a new SaaS platform called Helix, and wanted to build it with a bit simplified dashboarding tools, we still continue to work together, figuring out how we can transition smart reporting to the new world with more analytics and BI functionality for ITSM. So it's an evolving relationship. We work with a lot of BMC partners who are super critical for this. Yellowfin is probably one of the best embedded solutions for BI, but we need the BMC partners to make sure that it's highly contextual and well implemented for the BMC customers. So it's a joint partnership, again, very, very positive and exciting for all of us, and one that will continue to evolve. Now, what does smart reporting end of life mean? I think you guys over the years have had plenty of communications from BMC around their plans, so I will not go into the details there. But the bottom line is, as people are moving to BMC Helix, and that becomes the standard for the ITSM solution, it leaves some gaps for the existing customer base. BMC is aware of it, and again, we're trying to figure out what are the best ways to fix this. So a lot of BMC customers will still need to use a version of smart reporting. Many of the BMC implementations spend thousands of customers, thousands of users, and transitioning those to a new platform is not easy. In some cases, not practical. The containerization is not always ideal when you have hosted solution. So there are a number of reasons why people need to stay with smart reporting. And what is interesting is with some of the new solutions we provide, there is even more functionality that can be introduced that is not currently available. So with smart reporting end of life, I think customers, BMC customers, have a nice opportunity to look at Yellowfin as a potential replacement. The Yellowfin solution, the standalone BI solution that we provide, the good news is it can run all smart reporting reports. In fact, there's not a lot of differences between the old version of Yellowfin BI and smart reporting. The biggest things that were changed were the sign-on and the syncing of permissions. Both of these we are able to do with the new with the standalone Yellowfin. So Yellowfin can seamlessly work with a Remedy installation. So that should make it a lot easier for you. The good news is that many of your customers and users already know Yellowfin. There are thousands of professionals that have experience with Yellowfin through BMC Remedy. So there is not shortage of trained users. And the good news, again, for you is that Yellowfin standalone has more functionality. So you can bring in new data sources. A lot of the customers we speak with that's one of their highest priorities. Like, how can I get more data sources into my reporting, either other systems or even third-party ITSM systems, other ITSM systems. So that is all possible with Yellowfin. And finally, but not least, is that the newest version of Yellowfin that we support today and provide to customers is a lot new. It has a lot more functionality than the one that's within Remedy, including, and I'll cover some of the functionality, but like self-reporting, much better dashboards, a lot of new things. So the new options with Yellowfin. Why the urgency? Why do it now? Again, we speak with a lot of BMC customers today that don't know exactly what to do. They have to use a version of smart reporting. They know it's not going to be supported in the future. They know the process of transition is not something that happens exactly overnight. So it's a good time to get on the wagon and start using something that is future ready. You will need a BI solution for the future for sure. What the Helix platform provides is more limited, and it's by design. It's a lot more focused on dashboarding, reporting, and analytics is not the focus. So you will need something, and Yellowfin is one of the best tools out there. So we strongly recommend it. And again, as you evolve and your needs evolve, and whether you use the new Helix, you can still continue to use Yellowfin, which I think is great for everybody. With the Yellowfin solution, you avoid limitations from again other things. ITSM reporting is complex. Some of the customers that we know have, in some cases, thousands of reports. So replicating that is really not easy. Simple dashboards are awesome, but not always enough. Sometimes you may need dashboards embedded in other tools that represent ITSM data, which is not possible with some of the current solutions that are supported by Helix. We talked with a lot of BMC customers, and the migration of the reports, in some cases, we estimated will take years. Like literally, we had a large energy company in the U.S., and the estimate was like 2 years to migrate their BMC smart reports into another tool. So it is a much more efficient way to go, Yellowfin. And in some cases, depending on the complexity of your reports and other things, we've had some customers that can migrate in as little as a week. the basics and make it work. So that's pretty good. Another thing, again, is like a lot of the other tools, there are plenty of tools used. A lot of organizations are asking, I already have Power BI in my organization or Tableau. Why can't I use those? And the basics are, they don't know Remedy, right? So you need to configure everything from scratch. Yellowfin already knows the Remedy, knows how to connect, knows how to synchronize. That makes things a lot easier. A little bit more about what Yellowfin 9 provides, in addition to what your standard smart reporting provides. Again, you have much better dashboards, really pixel perfect dashboards and reporting. We've introduced a lot of new features such as self-service guided NLQ, natural language querying. So your users can create their own queries a lot easier. Embedding in other applications or other tools is a lot easier. There's a lot of AI kind of automation, such as signals. We have data storage, which is a more collaborative way to look at report and data. So a lot of features are available in the new version that are kind of cool and can impress, in addition to running all your standard smart reporting reports. So we think the solution would really prepare you for the future and delight your customers and users, really. Again, a lot of opportunities. You can connect Yellowfin, not only the ITSM Remedy solution to Yellowfin, you can connect BMC, Helix, but also other solutions. Like a lot of customers ask, can I connect my SAP or whatnot into my reporting so I can provide more insightful analysis to my customers? And with this tooling, you can. So we think that really takes the capabilities that BMC customers have to a new level. It is really exciting for BMC partners because BMC partners can provide a lot more services and a lot more interesting value for your customers. So it's all around really a nice opportunity for both customers and partners. So it's really exciting. And finally, but not least, we've tried to make the commercials as easy as possible. Now, you do need separate licensing for Yellowfin. You would not get it directly through the BMC licensing you have today. We've tried to make the pricing as low as possible for BMC customers specifically. So hopefully that's really good news. We offer a lot of licensing options based on users or server size to ensure that you get the right scalability, the right performance, and service as many users as possible. Again, BMC partners are super important. I think we need to continue to need them as part of the equation. They know your environments. They know ITSM really well. And hopefully they'll continue to provide value on top of Yellowfin. And they have a lot of creativity. We speak with BMC partners, and they always come up with really nice ideas of what more they can do. And we have a little bit later Materna speaking about how what they've done so far with Yellowfin. They have so many ideas. Really a great partner that can help you get your solutions to the next level. Not only, again, address the immediate need to have something sustainable and supported for the future, but really get something awesome and better that will delight your customers. So with that, I will pass over to Carl, who is with Rhino, who is one of our most important partners in Europe. Really great technical experts for Yellowfin. They've worked on making the solution for BMC even more seamless, and will continue to be available. And we'll be able to work with other BMC partners to make sure that the end customer solutions are really great. We have similar partners in the US. So we have a lot of coverage for the customers to get the solutions right and quickly. So with that, Carl, over to you.
Thanks, Atanas. I hope everyone can hear me okay. I'm actually on a customer site today, so it might be a little bit of noise around me, but I'll try and keep it as clear as possible. So yeah, we've kind of looked at this situation and gone, there must be a relatively easy way or a relatively seamless way to get people from their current environment where Yellowfin is very much embedded within BMC and sort of decouple it and let it live on its own, still speaking to BMC, but offering all those extra bits and pieces that Atanas was just talking about. And we've worked out a route to do this. It's not by any means the only route. There's a number of ways of doing it, but this is a nice and seamless way of doing it that enables yourselves and your partners and customers, etc., and your users to continue to operate and use the system normally, so your BAU continues. We can upgrade and bring the system into line with what is expected on a different box, effectively, as what we're doing. Carry on with the same impersonation and connection security levels that are required for linking to BMC, but doing it without the real need to export all the content and re-import all the content into a new system. That may well be something that needs to be done in certain instances, and we can help with that, and the partners can work our way through all of that lot. But this is as seamless a way of doing this exercise as possible. And the science behind this isn't just guesswork. This is actually a process that's been tried and tested a number of times. All the user accounts, roles, groups, etc., remain as part of that whole process. But it does enable you to then expand your Yellowfin usage and also enable you to apply whatever styles and customizations to the system that you want to as well, without affecting the original. So it's very much a process. It's very much a guide. Whoever's doing this exercise is going to go through a number of steps on your behalf. But the critical thing I want to bring your attention back to is the first part. BAU continues in this particular method of doing things. Uwe is going to talk in a little while about a particular case that they've been through and how they've done it with another customer and another process. But for now, let's just take a look at the relatively simple way. I say relatively simple because, as Atanas alluded to, there's a lot of content that has been created in a lot of BMC remedy installations, and what we'll try and do is make it as seamless as possible with that migration. So with that in mind, we've got a number of steps that we'll go through. So the first is really to take good stock of what your current installation looks like. So we've got a bunch of scripts that we'll run that will take a good look at the content within your remedy installation. So it'll be things like a number of reports that have got subqueries, reports that link to other reports, charts, dashboards, all of that sort of stuff. We get a good picture of what that looks like, which guides very much the process that needs to be followed to migrate you to a new world. From that stage, we effectively duplicate your configuration database. Now, that's something to keep in mind, that Yellowfin, although it is connecting to BMC, it has its own configuration database which holds all these configuration details. That will be duplicated. This enables us to carry on doing the whole migration process without affecting your business as usual process. So we can duplicate that background database. We can duplicate the entire Yellowfin instance to a new environment and then apply all the various upgrades, changes, etc., to that new instance without affecting the old one. And that's key. That's the whole process here. That's what we're looking at doing. We'll go through those steps with yourselves. We'll make sure that all the reports look as you're expecting them to look. Dashboards look as they're expected to look. Make sure the connections are in place. The data sources are all there. User accounts, etc. All of that links correctly. Apply various updates to it to bring it up to the latest version. As Atanas alluded to, the versions of Yellowfin that are currently within Remedy are somewhat out of date to what we are at now. So we'll bring all of those versions, those new installations, up to date, and then apply whatever layers, the mid layer. Effectively, BMC has this security mid layer between Yellowfin and it, so that needs to be applied as well. And only after all of these updates and everything's been applied successfully, and you guys have looked at it and signed off and customers happy, will we actually be able to flick the switch effectively and redirect BMC Remedy to the new Yellowfin installation, given the opportunity to turn the old one off and moving it aside, archiving it, etc. What that then leaves you with is a shiny new Yellowfin installation on its own box, its own piece of kit, opening up the world to being able to report on a whole bunch of other data sources, as Atanas said, while still connecting to BMC and still being able to do all the stuff that you'd normally been able to do, but obviously expand that and use more of the Yellowfin product for whatever you want it to do. So that's the general guide to it. When it comes to the actual process for individual installations, that may drift a little bit, of course. Everybody, there isn't one size that fits all, but we've got as near to it as possible with the actual process. And this has been proven. We've done this a few times. So we know this process works. It does have to sort of meander a little bit when it comes to specific content. And one of the questions we've had previously has been what happens during this process if we create new content. Well, that's fine. We'll just pick that new content up and export that and import that to a new system towards the end of the process. So we keep everything in sync. But this, as I say, this isn't the only way of doing this exercise. It is possible to export and import to a new installation. It just takes a little bit more of a sort of sweep as we go through it. But this is a nice seamless method as it stands at the moment. I'm going to pass over to Uwe now, who's going to talk a little bit more around specific instances and specific ways of doing various things within the install. So I'm on the call, and if we've got any technical questions that come up, we'll keep an eye on those and we can come back and answer those as we go through this.
Yeah, there is a question from Michael, and I'm not sure, maybe we leave that question to the end of Uwe's section. It was about compatibility with versions of BMC remedy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we do have that matrix as well, Gene, don't we, that we can refer back to on how that's going to work at some point. So we can answer that.
Lovely.
But I'll pass over to Uwe at this instance, and we'll carry on, and then we'll come back and answer these towards the end.
Okay, then I'm going to continue. We got a customer in Germany. We are working there for more than 7 years, and the story about these years is that we started with reporting with BIRD. We had this AR system database that includes ticket and also aggregated data. We got jobs that run periodically to aggregate data for weeks or months for statistic reasons, and then we presented them with BIRD. But after a short time, we realized problems with BIRD version 2.5 that was chipped with BMC installation. So we moved to BIRD 4.5. And then there was smart reporting available, and so it was a good move to make all new reports on smart reporting and convert some of the old reports from BIRD to smart reporting. And then after we heard that it's possible to use Yellowfin and that there's an end of life of smart reporting, we switched to Yellowfin 9.7. We did the way of exporting the reports from smart reporting and importing because it were not so many reports. And yeah, that's the reason. And now we are migrating all the other reports that have to be migrated from BIRD to the Yellowfin. We are not migrating, we are recreating them there. Yeah, what kind of reports we have? We had ad hoc reports. We got something like license usage, perhaps, and new features like the management summary reports, where we do presentations for the CAP planning, and we've got a lot of KPI reports based on the aggregated data. We have gone live with this system in October last year. So we are already working live with the system for a time. What did we do? Yeah, it's very quite simple. You just install the Yellowfin environment. And then you add some jar files from the existing smart reporting installation we had, and some configurations had to be done. And after that, you will be able to access the AR system with the BMC impersonation adapter. This impersonation adapter means that the user will only see the data he will also see in the BMC system. Another thing is we created groups. So in these groups, the users are organized in groups, and the users can see only the reports that are available for these groups. For example, for problem managers, for incident managers, or for other process managers. How is this done technically? In this case, we did not have an ITSM Helix installation. We had a Maternal Framework installation. So this is an AR system core application and mid-tier. We installed the Yellowfin server, and then we added something like scripts, middleware. It is running on a web server, and it can be accessed by a SOAP or REST call. So every change of a user will result in a request to this scripts, and then the scripts decide if the user has to be added or modified, and based on the rules, roles or groups in the AR system, groups are created in Yellowfin. So that's how we create the groups automatically. This is more than the usual BMC installation does. And for the single sign-on, we use the REST API of the Yellowfin server to get a web token, so the user can log in and use the Yellowfin single sign-on. We decided to do this because we were replacing the existing user sync mechanism of BMC and also the single sign-on mechanism BMC used in the mid-tier, because we want to be Helix ready. Because if we move to the Helix versions in the SaaS environments, I'm not sure how long the mid-tier will still support the single sign-on. Hopefully it will. In the current available versions, it does support, still support the integration, the user syncing, and also the single sign-on. What I can show you now is a short demo that we can call Yellowfin from an existing Helix installation. This is Helix installation 2105. There is a single sign-on, and then we access a Yellowfin that is running in a Docker container. So I will switch. I will present my screen. So if we log in to our system, we have the ability, this is an integration, just a simple integration that is calling the Yellowfin. It is getting the single sign-on token when you are in the Yellowfin.
Although we can't see your screen. Should we see your screen at this point? Sorry, interrupting. Apologies.
Okay. Now you can see my screen?
Not yet.
Okay, then I will log out again.
Oh, we can see it now. We can see it now.
Yeah? Okay. Sorry. Okay, so this is an Helix installation. And you log into the Maternal Framework application. And then you got, okay, Yellowfin is still open. I will close that. You got the integration here It's just like other reports or whatever tools you run. You call the Yellowfin tool, and in the background we will see in the next step what is really happening. That you can see the getting of the SSO token. So now we are in Yellowfin with the user 2, and this user has access only to problem management reports. Okay, when we log in with a different user, like we use user 1, he will get a different view. So here you can see the BMC Helix original view, and we have also done this integration here. And now you can see what's really happening. There is an intermediate form that will lead you to the Yellowfin, and you see this user has access only to the incident management reports. Now, these are only example reports here, but what happens is that on clicking on the button, a REST call is issued, and there you can see well, this login is created. How is this done? I can show you. It is just a simple filter issuing a REST API call to the Yellowfin server, passing a few parameters and getting back the sign-on, single sign-on key. So this is the demo. Okay, now I'm back, I hope, and I can pass on to Jean.
Wonderful. Thank you ever so much, Uwe. That was really valuable. I'm just conscious, Michael, you asked your question in the chat. I'm not sure we've fully answered that. So just coming back to that question, when it comes to compatibility, with which versions of BMC Remedy can Yellowfin 9.8 be used?
Okay, I can just say that the JDBC driver we are using is a version 2102 or something like that from that installation package that was in the in the BMC installation. And the API of the new Helix versions have not changed right now, so you can use all the tools you used before that access via the API also in Helix versions.
Great, thank you. And I think we do have an asset, I think, Carl, that we had listed the different version numbers in the relevant Yellowfin version. Yes.
Yeah, we do. I mean, Uwe's absolutely right. Technically, the JDBC driver, which Yellowfin uses to connect to BMC or connect to the data system, hasn't changed. And even if it has, the original installation, it's a JDBC connector. So there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to access or see the data in some way, shape, or form. But as Jean says, we do have a matrix. We've got a list of exactly what versions and compatibilities exist, which we should be able to share.
Sure. Absolutely. So I'm just checking before I move on. There's definitely no other questions come through for Carl or for Uwe. If you think of any as I go through the next 5 minutes, please do feel free to post them in the chat. If we've left anything unanswered, it's a good chance to catch them while they're on this call. Yeah, so just over to me, really, just to wrap up for the next 5 minutes or so, and just give you an update on, the assets that we have for you. We've got Wiki, we've got community, and then touch again on partner services. I know Atanas talked about that earlier on, but just to recap on how we can help you. There's a mixture of you on the call today. We do have BMC partners on the call. We've got end customers and again across the globe. So we're keen to make sure everybody on this is supported. And I think one thing I'm really keen to learn from, if you're open for a discussion afterwards, is, what stage of that decision journey are you on in thinking about this extending to Yellowfin or migrating, or thinking about your product, your roadmap, if you like, internally. Are you just starting to think about it? Are you already well down that path now? So we're just really looking forward to getting your feedback on that and how we can help. So just moving on swiftly, just sharing with you some key links, and you will get the recording of this and also the deck here with the links on it. We have built a landing page, so without me clicking on it, you'll see it's just got a short summary, and it's a landing page that will encourage you to do fill out some details for a discussion with either a product expert or a member of the Yellowfin team. And we can also, again, I'll talk about this in a moment, connect you with a regional partner who can help with you, scoping out where you currently are and where you want to get to. We've also got a Yellowfin community. We've got a ton of articles in there. And in parallel to that, we have a wiki. So you'll see for all of you using Smart Reporting version on older versions of Yellowfin, it helps highlight to you what's new really in Yellowfin version 9, and that wiki will outline all the additional features and changes in there, and all the positive new functionality we can also offer, which Artemis talked about earlier. And on that note, again, another invitation to any of you on the call is, we can certainly connect you with a Yellowfin partner or a partner to show you, what's new or the art of the possible in version 9, just to give you that, vision of how it could be used for you internally. We've also got 2 technical documents. I know Carl's contributed to one of our documents. I've just given you a couple of little mini screenshots so you can see the table of some of the contents in there. So we've got an overview document mapping some of the methodology that Carl has shared with you today. We've also got a slightly longer document on converting integrated smart reporting to standalone Yellowfin, with a whole table on paths and process from installation, etc. So feel free to come to us, and we can certainly share that with you. We are working on having somewhere central to store all of this, so we can give you one easy link and you can explore and download. But in the meantime, do come to us and we'll send you whatever you need for the documentation. We've also got a summary document with some an order form and some of the pricing on it as well. So we do encourage you, if you want to have want to understand a little bit more pricing models in a little bit more detail, again, do come to us on that landing page, and we'll get back to you, and we can talk to you about your current infrastructure, your current landscape, and we can give you some indication on pricing as well, just to help that internal business case. You can work also, we probably will also at that stage connect you with our BMC partner, wherever you are, Germany, France, Nordics, wherever you're based, South Africa. We can connect you with a local Yellowfin partner or a BMC partner. And we will be sharing that customer deck we've used today, and you'll have that recording so you can revisit some of the information shared today. I don't know if you've got any other questions. Chris has asked about the commercial. So Chris, if you do come into us on that landing page, we can get back to you. I'll share contact details at the end as well, and we can share that with you. Just answering one of the questions in the chat. Just touching a little bit more on how partners can help, and maybe, again, any questions for Carl or Uwe, just representing our partner channel here today. Some of the services where they can support you, from some of the steps that Carl talked about today, doing that audit, some of the scripts they have on your current use and when last viewed, etc., right through to, reporting on the future current state and then looking at the upgrade process. So they can help you through with workshops or even upgrade services and support throughout that whole life cycle. So we're not going to just throw this over to you and leave you on your own. We do have expert teams, that have done it and are working on these projects right now. And we have a number of former BMC customers now working with Yellowfin successfully. So I've talked about a little bit about the consulting support with Yellowfin partners, and I think this slide just expands a little bit on the previous slide. So you'll see that process just outlined again. It's probably a little bit of a repetition there, but it's also support for enabling ticket desks, and we do have a nice Yellowfin showcase actually with some sample data on ticket data, which will resonate, that we could share with you as well. Just to reiterate, outside of our expert Yellowfin partners, our BMC partners, the internal Yellowfin is absolutely here to help. Our teams in EMEA and in the USA are fully able to help on onboarding. We have a really strong and great customer success team that, once implemented, are there for that journey beyond the initial implementation, and will support our partners and yourselves with tickets and making sure this project's a success for you. We have a support team, and of course we have the partner management team, so that's where I come in, and my colleague Chuck is also on the call today. And any US partners on the call, you'll be working very closely with Chuck on this. And we're absolutely here to back you up. So just to say again, our whole team is on board and able to help. And I think this is just coming to the last slide, really. We just wanted to leave time at the end for questions. But I think just in summary, we'd like to encourage you, any questions, and I will start to pick up the questions in the box before we drop off this session today. But do visit our landing page. We'll based on that, we'll connect with you. We'll reach out to you, and we can send you the follow-up information or assets that you need, set up a pricing call, set up a demo, whatever it is you need for your next step. If you're on here as a customer and you're already working with a BMC partner, do keep reconnecting through that channel. But if you're not already connected with anybody, we can make those matchmaking introductions, if you like. So do let us know. So just finally leaving with some contacts as well today. So you've got my email address here. I'm based in the UK in the EMEA team. I also want to introduce my colleague Mike, who's on the session today. Mike is one of our senior sales executives and can support you. I'm in the very happy position of being on holiday from Friday for a whole 4 weeks. I don't know how I managed that. So in my absence, Mike can help pick up anything you need, and is already engaged with all of our partners and yourselves on the call today. So that's another name for you for the next 4 weeks while I'm out of the office. And of course, anyone in the US, if you're not already connected to Chuck in the US, please do connect with him, and he can support you in parallel. So we work regionally. We're in the EMEA region. Chuck's managing the US region with his colleague Mike Gedio. And again, if you've got any technical questions after today, other than coming the landing page, do visit, going back to that asset slide, do visit the Yellowfin community. There's a lot of posts in there that we've seen starting to gather, and you might pick up some answers in the Yellowfin community. And going forward, I know Chuck and I are working on our partner portal. So in the coming weeks, we will have a section on to make sure we've got all those assets stored as well for you. So I'll take a breath and stop talking for a moment. But just picking up just any final questions. I'm just going back to the question and answer box. Michael, again, you're asking a question of Uwe. So Uwe, if you're still online, it's just how long that took. Maybe you can give an idea of the length of that project and what was needed, resources on your side, etc.
I think it took about something like, I guess, 10 months from doing the first POC, then developing things, dev, QA, and moving it to production. But I think from the amount of time, it was something like 30, 40 days for work. And we exported and imported about 50, 60 reports. Most of them, or most of them were could be just exported and imported. That worked fine. And if you had to be changed, reconfigured, rebuilt, and in parallel, we were using also and learning about the new features of version 9. So that was also one issue, because there was a requirement for management reports. So they can do their monthly reports for managers. And this was not possible in the Yellowfin 8 version, only in the Yellowfin 9 version, and with some features. Well, I'm not the person who did this reporting. I'm more from the basic architecture and the Remedy Core team.
Great, thank you. Yeah, does that answer everything, Michael? I'm not sure if there's anything else you wanted to ask on that. Yeah, no typing in the chat box. I'm thinking that must mean a yes. That's fine, and we can pick up and connect you if needed. Don't know if there's any last questions. I'll just leave it open for a few seconds, and while we're just waiting on that, oh great, thank you, Michael. While I'm just waiting, just to see if there's any final questions, Atanas, I didn't know if there was anything you wanted to say at the end, any sort of final thoughts?
Nothing else. I mean, I think people saw the landing page, which was kind of a long string to remember. If you can go to Yellowfin, contact us. You can also, like, there's enough people that know about this, so you don't need to specifically go there. You can just go to contact us or request a demo, and somebody will direct you where you need to be and help you with commercials and things like that. So all these assets are very helpful, but again, and you have the links, but right now, obviously, because of the situation with the client, we have enough going on that people are familiar with this, that they'll immediately direct you to the right person.
Absolutely. In fact, what I can probably do is I'll just let me just have a quick look. I'll actually I'm just putting the link again in the chat box, so you can all. Oops, I don't know if it'll go in there. There you go.
Perfect.
There you go. I don't know if it's come through. I think it has. So you can all click on it now. So you've got that open and you can star it as a favorite. So there we go. Fantastic. Okay. I think that's us finished. I just want to wrap up. Just to say, really, it's been great to have you all on the session today. Thanks for taking time and joining us. Hopefully there's enough there to help you think about those next steps. And we really look forward to talking with anyone who's open to a chat. Really keen to get your feedback and learn about, what stages you are on different stages on the journey and how we can help. And, it helps us to help you. So, thanks so much again, Atanas, Carl, Uwe. Really appreciate your time. And look forward to hearing from you in the coming days. Thank you very much, everybody. Bye for now. Okay, I'll end it all. Yeah, bye now.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thanks, Jean. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.